Good morning, students. In the last class, we have completed B reading, and the name of the lesson was Every Success Story is Also a Story of Great Failures. In that, we have learned about some famous persons like Abraham Lincoln, Lee DeForest, and Wright brothers, Colonel Sanders, and Walt Disney, and Henry Ford and Thomas Edison, isn't it? We have learned about some famous persons in the history. So today we are moving to the C reading. In that we are going to learn we are going to learn the lesson I will do it. So we will see the lesson. I will do it. He was short, he was sharp, he was the brightest boy in his class. His seniors used to ask him to solve their difficulties in science. He could have gone unnoticed in a crowd, but once you ask him a question related to physics or maths, there was a spark in his eyes. He could grasp theories of science faster than the speed of light. Here we are learning about a person. So they are explaining how that person means that boy was actually. So he was short and he was sharp also. And he was the brightest boy in the class. And his seniors used to ask him to solve their difficulties in science, means they used to ask their doubts in science, and he could have gone unnoticed means not observed or noticed in a crowd, but once you ask him a question related to physics or maths, there was a spark means an exciting quality in his eyes, and he could grasp means a firm hold of, or a person's understanding of, means he has a firm hold in theories of science faster than the speed of light. So here they are explaining that that boy was short and sharp, and he was brightest boy in the class, and his seniors used to ask him to solve their difficulties in science, and he would have, means in a crowd he was unnoticed, but if a question raised related to physics or maths, he was uh, then there was a spark when questions related to physics or maths then we can find a spark in his eyes, and he could grasp theories of science faster than the speed of light, means normally how speed, if you on a light, and how that brightness spread quickly in the room, his grasping power is more faster than that. So they are saying that his grasping power is more faster than the speed of light. He came from a poor but educated family. His father was a high school teacher and an avid reader of English literature. He, like all the boys in his class, was trying to get admission into some engineering college. The brighter ones wanted to study in the Indian Institutes of Technology, or the IITs. There was an entrance test for IIT. This boy, along with his friends, applied to appear for the test. They did not have any special books or coaching. All these IIT aspirants would sit below the shade of any special would sit below the shade of a stone mandap close to Chamundi Hills in the sleepy town of Mysore. He was the guide for the others, while the others struggled to solve the problems in the question paper. He would smile shyly and slow them and solve them in no time. He sat alone below a tree and dreamt of studying at IIT. It was the ultimate aim for any bright boy at that age, as it still is today. He was then only 16 years old. So, that boy, he came from a poor but educated family, and his father was a high school teacher and an avid reader, means doing sometimes as much as possible. So he is an avid reader of English literature, and he, like all the boys in his class, was trying to get admission into some engineering college. The brighter ones wanted to study in the Indian Institutes of Technology. So all the boys in his class was trying to get admission into some engineering colleges, whereas the brighter ones, means bright students, used to was trying to study in Indian Institutes of Technology, means IITs. There was an entrance test for IIT. This boy, along with his friends, applied to appear for the test. So he has applied for IIT, and they did not have any special books or coachings for that exam. Nowadays we have so many different types of materials, and there are so many coaching centers for us for this entrance, but in those days there was no study materials or coaching centers. So all these IIT aspirants, means a person who is ambitious. So all these aspirants, means I told you, a person who is ambitious. So he, along with his friends, they used to sit below the shade of a stone mandap. Mandap means a raised platform. So they all used to sit in that shade of stone mandap close to Chamundi Hills in the sleepy town of Mysore. And he was the guide for others, while the others, means others, they used to struggle to solve the problems in the question paper. By seeing them, he would smile shyly. Shyly means timid or reserved, and he used to solve them in no time. And he used to sit alone below a tree and dream, and he used to dream of studying in uh, IIT, means he was dreaming about studying at IIT. It was the ultimate aim for any bright boy, means who studies very well, means who the person who is bright in studies have it will be the ultimate aim for the students who are bright. And he was then only 16 years old. The D-Day came. He came to Bangalore, stayed with some relatives, and appeared for the entrance test. He did very well, but would only say okay when asked. It was the opposite when it came to food. When he said okay, it implied bad. When he said good, it implies okay. When he said excellent, it implied good. His principle was never to hurt anyone. So the D-Day means a date on which something important is expected to happen. So that day of their entrance exam has come. So they went to Bangalore and they stayed with some of their relatives, and he appeared for the entrance exam. And he did very well, means he wrote the exam very well. But when anyone asked him about his exam, he used to say okay, means whereas when it is the matter of food, his answer means we have to take it in an opposite way. Means when the food is bad, he will say okay, whereas when it is okay, the food which is prepared is okay, then he will be saying good. And when the food is excellent, and he will be saying good. So his principle was not to hurt anyone. The IIT entrance results came. He had passed with a high rank. What a delight for any student. He was thrilled. He went to his father, who was reading a newspaper. So as he has appeared for the IIT entrance, the results of IIT entrance has came, and he has passed in a high rank. What a delightful what a delight for any student. Delight means great pleasure. He was thrilled. Thrilled means extremely pleased, and he went to his father, who was reading a newspaper. Anna, I have passed the exam. Anna means a word used to address a respectable elder or older male. So he went to his father and said, Anna, I have passed the exam. Well done, my boy. Then his father said, well done, my boy. Then this boy was saying, I want to join IIT. His father stopped reading the paper. He lifted his head, looked at the boy, and said with a heavy voice, my son, you are a bright boy. You know our financial position. I have 5 daughters to be married off and 3 sons to educate. I am a salaried person. I cannot afford your expenses at IIT. You can stay in Mysore and study as much as you want. When this boy said that he want to study in IIT, his father stopped reading the newspaper, and he lifted his head and looked at the boy and said with a heavy voice, my son, you are a bright boy. You know our financial position. And he is explaining their financial position, that he has 5 daughters to be married and 3 sons to get educated. So, and he's saying that as I am a salaried person, I cannot afford means to have enough money to buy or pay for something, means he is unable to afford the expenses at IIT. So he asked that boy to stay in Mysore and study as much as he want. Indeed, it was a difficult situation for any father to say no to his bright son, but circumstances were like that. It was common then for the man to be the single earning member with a large family dependent on him. So normally it will be a very difficult situation for any father or parents to say no to the child who is bright in studies, but the circumstances means conditions connected with an event. But the situations around, but the conditions of their family has made him to say no. It was common then for the man to be the single earning, because as he was a single earning member in the large family, and there are so many people dependent on him, means needing support from somebody. So there are so many people who is waiting for his support. So for that reason he said no for his bright son. So this is the story, and we will be continuing the remaining part of the story in the next class. Here there are some hard words. First one is difficulty, unnoticed, English literature, admission, engineering, institute, technology, coaching, mandap, Mysore, struggled, ultimate, Bangalore, thrilled, circumstances, and there are some meanings also. Avid means doing something as much as possible. Aspirant, a person who is ambitious. Unnoticed, not observed for noticed. Spark, an exciting quality. Mandap, a raised platform. D-Day, a day on which something important is expected to happen. Anna, a word used to address a respectable elder or older male. Circumstances, conditions connected with an event. Dependent, needing support from somebody. And home assignment for you is write hard words and meanings in your notebooks. Students, I have given you some hard words and meanings. I want you to write them neatly without any spelling mistakes in your notes, and learn the spellings of the hard words and also learn the meanings. Okay, students, we will continue the remaining part in the next session. Thank you. Have a good day.